today don't allow the same freedom and versatility old school games allowed. People tend to be quite critical of old school games, like Tenix and his video on Batman Begins, or Dashing David and his video of retro gamers. These artists, and many other artists on YouTube, tend to be quite critical and harsh on old school classics. However, these games are some of the benchmarks of modern gaming, and the things you see in modern gaming, innovation came only because of these classics. These old school games were revolutionary for their time, and did a great amount for the video game industry, changing everything with unique gameplay and innovative design. You see, games used to be more free. You also had a multitude of genres, platforming, movement, gameplay options, mechanics, all these different options. You see, games used to have gameplay options, variety. They used to allow you to play and experience them in different ways. This is what adds to the replayability, which is why when you hear people discussing old games, they always say, "Man, I played that over and over." However, with new games, people beat it, 100% it, and then move on to another. It's different. Games were timeless because of choice. It gave you a multitude of possibility. This is the very foundation of video game design. Interaction. How much can you interact with in a game? How much is there to do in said game? Hence the word content. You see, innovations like Infamous 2 are groundbreaking. Not only is it one of the first superhero games, Infamous 1 and 2 are some of the first superhero games. Not only that, but Infamous 2 in particular had a borderline open world design. However, the game is technically linear. It gives you so much freedom and versatility in a linear environment. So much it can definitely be considered as open world. That shows a huge level of gameplay innovation. Then it has unique gameplay, such as multiple powers and abilities, that can change the entirety of the field of gameplay. Powers that don't just grant you a slight boost, no, they greatly affect the field of battle. It's incredible. It shows an outstanding understanding of video game design. It shows innovation in ways that you do not see in modern games. You see, old school games used to have unique fighting mechanics, where enemies and people fought in different ways. Sometimes directional based button inputs, other times long drawn out complex combos, and movesets. These brilliant mechanics from games like Street Fighter Alpha 3 and Street Fighter Third Strike are some groundbreaking fighting mechanics. Or Tenkaichi 3. Tenkaichi 3 has complex fighting moves and mechanics that require timing and multiple attack moves. It's extremely fleshed out and can easily be considered one of, if not the most refined fighting game ever made. It is made impeccably. Revolutionary fighting mechanics like this do not exist these days. What fighting game do you know these days that has such refined and unique fighting mechanics? Now, there are games like Ninja Storm 4 or Tekken 8. These are good. They might not be perfect, but they're amazing. However, these games and many games today are not like Street Fighter Alpha 3 or Marvel vs. Capcom, with some refined and fine-tuned fighting game mechanics that require skill and directional inputs or long button combinations. Some fighting games have become so streamlined that they have constant repetitive inputs in their fighting gameplay. It's quite disappointing. New games in general are attached to being open world and first-person shooters. These are quite popular. That's a good thing. However, we need different genres too. Back in the day you had Doom or GoldenEye, but you also had Mario 64, Jak 2, Crash, Spyro. You had different genres of games. They weren't all just two genres. And you'll see many artists on the internet claim they are bored of the open world genre, or there's not unique multiplayer shooters like Halo or the old Call of Duties. See, this fatigue comes from the spamming of the same conventional successful genres. Every time something comes that is successful, it is spammed at a moment's notice. For video game company profits, once you see the same genre over and over, you start to miss the variety and uniqueness of old school games. They had all kinds of genres, like Def Jam, games like Streets Volume 2, or Jak 2. Jak 2 is a brilliant marvel or video game design. It could easily pass off as an open world game, but did you know it's actually linear? This linear game allowed for third-person shooting and platforming. and it was all interconnected. That is groundbreaking for its time, where you wonder to yourself whether this is a linear game or an open world game, because the game's interconnected design is so well made that it could pass for both. That is video game innovation. These games were not just realistic first-person shooters or open worlds. They spanned the same genre these days. We had unique games. We had multiple genres. We had so much choice. Things are different now. This is why old school gaming should be respected and commended. Hey, shout out to Gravity Kills. Gravity Kills 997. Second channel. I think it'd be cool if you guys check out his content. I've seen a great many of his videos. They're amazing. Some of the most compelling Battlefront gameplay out there. It's amazing. Even having a mod gameplay of the Death Star mod for the original first Battlefront. You're basically playing a Battlefront 2 map in Battlefront 1. It's freaking sick. It's freaking awesome. It's freaking sick. His channel is freaking awesome. You gotta check it out. And this is what I'm laying down. This was Tarragon, and thank you for watching.